you doing? See you in a second. All right, how you guys all doing out there? This is Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio. It's Tuesday. Welcome to the show. All right, I'm on a little bit of a different setup tonight. Trying to rearrange the office here a little bit, but this is actually temporary. It's probably going to go back to the way it was. I need to do like a full revamp in here. I want to create some more space, Got a lot of stuff gathering. Does anybody else have that problem at their house? Let me know. All right, how's everybody? Who's racing this weekend? Who raced last weekend? How was Sonoma? How was wine country? I need to get out there before something bad happens. I mean, it is in California. California is a dangerous place for drag racing, let me tell you. All right, who's out here? We got Danny Davis. Hello, Bobby. It's time. PRI registration is open. Airfare is a few $100s less now, along with hotel prices. That's good to know. Yeah, I should check into that because it is July. What are the dates for PRI, Danny? Let me know. It's usually like first weekend in December, I think. Maybe second weekend, something like that. So I've been going since 2021. And I don't know. No reason to stop now, right? The only problem with PRI is that it's like kind of late in the game. I feel like a lot of people go there to find sponsorship or network, and a lot of those sponsors have already budgeted for next year. So it's not always like the best place to go for finding sponsorship. I feel like you already have to have an in. I went there many years, trying to like hand out things and try to set myself apart from like all the other people that are handing out things, but it's still kind of hard. Steve Bruce, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. Would like to know about the AHFS in regards to Indy. All right, we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. Bruce Fulper is eating cheeseburgers in paradise, which sound amazing to me, but I got to cut down on the cheeseburgers a little bit. Hayden Brown, what's up? Hayden, how you doing? Good to see you. There's Walt Walker. Oh boy, he must have been busy today. He's like 6th comment in here. It's unlike him. What's going on, Walt? How you doing? Well, as long as he didn't get beat by Ray Thurston, I guess he's all right. Brian Cool, how you doing, Brian? Good evening. Hey, Tom Baker, birthday boy from Saturday. What's up, Tom? Reggie. How do we screw this up every weekend? Leach. What's up, Leach? No, Lich. Lich. I think he said ditch. It's like ditch, but with an L. All right, Reggie. I'm going to get it one of these years. Dennis Chapman. What's up, Dennis? How you doing, buddy? Joe Collins. What's going on, Joe? He's got the stick shift Camaro. Brian Zenzen. Probably not much to discuss over last week, huh? Yeah, I know, right? Cobra Jet. 9,500 RPM drag racers are moving east. They are drag racers and just successful business owners and everyday Americans, I should say. Jimmy Carter. Hi, Bobby. So I did see Lindsay Snyder. It was on the news that she is picking up and moving to Tennessee. The stores are obviously staying in California, the ones that they have, but she is picking up. And I think headquarters are going to be in Tennessee. Her and her family are going to be in Tennessee. What's up, Doug Deck? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's all right. Raced the CCRA at Coastal Plains in my hometown, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Let me know some results so I can give a couple shout-outs tonight. Chuck Weisberg, what's going on? Heidi ho, Bobby, what's up? Chuck, how you doing? I'm here. I forgot it's Tuesday. It's almost race day. Yeah, Ray, we're going to see you this weekend. You run Stock Eliminator at New Media. Stay away from me, will you? Stay away from me. Kiana Fazio, that's my wife. How you doing, Kiana? Danny Davis, it's December 11th to the 13th. Kiki, are we going to PRI this year? Walt, you going to PRI this year? Sean Conway, happy Tuesday. Can you bring stickers to New Media, please? Yes, sir, I will do that. I'll put them in my bag. I'll try to make a note. The stickers are right there. Joseph Eustace from Hot Atlanta. Yo, is it hot where everybody else is? It was 95 degrees here today. My goodness. And I still got to get loaded up. Dang, Walt missed Q1. Hope there's a cleanup run. I know he did, but he still had a better light than you, Ray. We all know you used your best light for the year against me, so I don't think you have any left in you, do you? Let us know. Chris Epps, what's going on, Chris? How you doing, buddy? Jared Jordan. Oh, Jared Jordan. Jared, what were you, the victim of a 2-pack out there in Sonoma to Chad Logie? What was Chad Logie driving the Mr. 413 car? I mean, Jared, I think went red, but good Lord, that was just messed up, right? You guys are all supposed to be Mopar buddies out there. What happened? What happened? Who else? Brian Zenzen, BIR results winner Friday. Jason DeForest. Arrow awnings and cabinets. Saturday, Jordan Jurgens. Sunday was Brett Spear, the chiropractor. All right. You guys seem to have a lot of fun out there at Brainerd. Okay. Sorry, guys. Comments keep flying in, and I like to read them all. But we got to tend to business here. Driverinterviews.com is my website. Please subscribe, share, like, do all of those things. YouTube channels still rocking and rolling, man. Over 7,100, almost 7,200 subscribers. So pretty happy about that. Can't wait till I get to like 72,000. I don't know. Probably have full head of gray hair by then. But we'll see. We'll see. Driverinterviews.com. Hashtag the car show. At Driver Interviews is my handle on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. OriginalLupeTortilla.com since 1983. Houston, Beaumont, College Station, and Katy. We got DragInsights.com, which helped me out immensely today because I went and looked up some past Indy runs. So I found every 130 under run from the last 4 years since 2022 because 22, 23, 24, we did not have the AHFS on. So it's been 3 years now. We had it on in 2021, and we're going to have it on again in 2025. So it's pretty easy in Drag Insights. Just go to the Events tab, year, pick the track, and boom, all the results pop up right there, and you just click on it. Check out stock, check out super stock, check out any category you want, but I focus mostly on stock and super stock, as you could tell. Draginsights.com. And if you are going to Indy, you might want to start researching who's like the fastest in your class and who you might have to match up against. You can do all of that in draginsights.com. Contingency sponsor if you are a premium member. All right, we still got some prayers and well wishes for Don Kennedy. I still read the updates on Facebook there from his daughters, and they say he had a couple good days in a row, and then he had like a little bit of a rough day. He is moving around a little bit. They are working him pretty hard. Not really eating and drinking a whole lot of any solid food that I can see right now. But hopefully he can get back out there on the racetrack. I know that's all he wants to do. And I can only imagine. So, all right, let's see. I'm hearing sounds coming from downstairs. You know what? Pause it, guys. Pause it. I'll let you look at Don Kennedy's email address. Send him a email if you could. I want to shut my door because I hear people coming up. Thought I had the house to myself. Isn't that the worst when you think you got the house to yourself and then people come home like ruin your mojo? All right. Rob Youngblood, advancedclutches.com. Thanks, Rob Youngblood, for your support this year. And my 289 cubic inch Mustang is going to have a Rob Youngblood clutch behind it. Can't wait to dump the clutch pedal. PontiacEngines.com. That's Bruce Fulper. How you doing, Bruce? How's that cheeseburger in paradise? Of course, you live near In-N-Out Burger, I'm sure. You can get one whenever you want, which is not fair to me. Who else we got? VP Racing Fuels. Best racing fuels you can get, for sure. Did you check out that video? See what kind of blend everybody's running? Sounds like C11 is the consensus. It's like the majority here. C11, and they say it's faster than C12. I didn't hear any C25s on that video. It was mostly C11s and C12s. But, hey, to each his own. And you don't know. Some people could be a little slick about it, not telling you what they're doing. Ray Minnick, that's RP Minnick PC. That's RPM at rpminnick.com. He's the accountant. You know what? This is my accountant gave me this right here. And I have to follow that flow chart there. But Ray Minnick can help you out with the racing, rental properties, whatever you got. Ray Minnick knows how to do it. It's hard to find accountants that understand the racing, though. That is a challenge. My accountant doesn't really understand it. So it's probably a good thing I don't win as much money as, I don't know, Hidalgo does each year, or he wouldn't know what to do with himself. VP already came up. That came up twice. There we go. RocketmanCoatings.com. Thank you, Rocky Jordash. Get your drivetrain components and valve train components, pistons, rings, whatever you want can be coated. Less friction equals more horsepower. RocketmanCoatings.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got some birthdays in the house here. Tom Baker being one of them. Doug Bidwell and Dougal Thomas were July 24th. Happy birthday, Doug Bidwell and Dougal Thomas. This is from the Drag Insights home calendar. If you just click on home in Drag Insights, as soon as you log in, you will see these birthdays and you will see the racing calendar so you can see what's coming up. Tom Baker was July 26th. He was at Cecil County Dragway celebrating his birthday. Jim Schachter and Kelly McKay were July 27th. That was Sunday. Happy birthday, Jim Schachter of TBM Brakes and Superstock Racer out of Georgia. Kelly McKay and Jim Schachter were July 27th. And we got Heather Park and Mike Thulin July 29th. That's today. So Heather Park out of Texas, I believe, Division 4. I think she's got a Shelby Mustang when she feels like racing. So that is pretty cool. And Mike Thulin, both July 29th. That's today. Happy birthday, Heather and Mike. All right, we had some horrible news this week. My goodness. Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, all in 1 week. Can't believe it. Like, talk about your childhood getting kicked in the face. That was mine. So Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and Hulk Hogan. I mean, Hulk Hogan and Malcolm Jamal Warner were pretty big part of my childhood. Ozzy Osbourne, yeah, I wasn't the biggest Ozzy fan, hit or miss. But I do have a couple songs on the playlist. I'm not going to lie. But it's just so weird, that these people are going. And it just makes me feel older every time it happens. And we did lose a Superstock standout, by the way. Joe Scott passed away, Division 1 racer for many, many years. So rest in peace, Joe Scott. Terrible, terrible. Okay, guys, we got some results from the Sonoma National event and Cecil County Mid-Atlantic Stock Superstock Association. So let's go to Sonoma, where Joe Sorensen was the #1 qualifier in stock eliminator. There were 28 cars out there in stock. Light car counts in beautiful wine country, but Justin Lamb found himself in the final round of stock against Chad Logie in that 62 Plymouth. So Justin Lamb driving a 22 Camaro. So what's that? 60 years between the two cars? Am I adding that up right quickly? Hopefully. How about this? Justin Lamb was 078 on the tree. I've never seen Justin Lamb be 078 in an elimination round or in any round, even in a qualifying run. That was a 951 and coasts to a 958 because Chad Logie, who was killing the tree, he was 000 and dead on with a 2 there against Jared Jordan in the first round. He made it all the way to the final in this A stock automatic Fury. He dialed 1015, but he was 014 red, and that was all she wrote. 1024 on the 1015, coasting at 112 miles an hour. Justin Lamb gets his 34th national event win, and he was running in the factory stock C class in that Camaro. So it was a 5-round race in stock eliminator. Justin and Kyle Rizzoli had a powerhouse matchup in the first round. Who saw that? That was pretty cool to see on the qualifying sheet there on day one. And I'll tell you what, Justin Lamb got a little lucky there. I got to say, he was 042 against Rizzoli. Rizzoli was, I believe, 00 something and just took a little bit too much down there at the finish line. I do think Justin Lamb dropped to go dead on with a 0, which kind of helped. I guess he pushed Rizzoli out. And that's what happens in this game, man. And it always looks worse on paper than it probably was in the race. If you do a run complete on Lamb and you already know what Rizzoli went, that race might have been a lot tighter down there. He might have been snugging it up, and then Lamb drops the anchor at the last second, and it looks like Rizzoli took too much tripe. It's happened to me a couple times. Speaking from experience here. All right, so there you go, Justin Lamb, 34th national event win, and it comes in stock eliminator. Moving into Superstock, Justin Lamb went for the #1 spot. There were an odd number of cars, 33 cars. There was actually 5 more cars in Superstock than there was in stock eliminator. It's kind of rare. He's got another 22 Camaro, but he runs it in Superstock A modified stock. So he's got the big hood scoop on the car. He qualified with an 857 on a 960 index. He was 1024 under the index. I don't know if did I mention that Joe Sorensen was #1 qualifier? I did, but I never told you. He was #1 qualifier in stock eliminator. He was running E-stock automatic, and he qualified with a 1062.8 on the 1170 index. So he was 1072 under the index, and there were 28 cars, so he did not get a first round bye. I do think he survived the first round, but he didn't get a second round bye either, because then there's 14 cars in the second round. He needed to make it the third round to get that bye, and he didn't get there. So Justin Lamb, since there were 33 cars in Superstock, got a first round bye, odd number, but he did not find himself in the final in Superstock. He bowed out. I can't remember who he lost to. Somebody else might know. But Kevin Motter in the GTK Automatic 88 Camaro was in the final, and I do think he may have gotten 2 bye runs on his way to the final. Trey Vetter was the other car in the final, who is Justin Lamb's first cousin, I believe. And you can tell by the way he drives. He's got a beautiful yellow 68 Camaro in Super Stock F automatic. Let's see. He was dialed 961. He's 017 on the tree. Kevin Motter was leaving first with a 1013 dial in. He was 026 on the tree. Very good lights by both drivers. Motter goes dead on 1013 with a 6. Trey Vetter runs a 962 on the 961, but that 017 light kind of kept him in there. He was over by 11th thou. Motter was over by 6th thou. But when we add in the reaction times, Trey Vetter got there first by a slim margin. Congratulations, Trey Vetter. Now, I could not believe that this was Trey Vetter's first national event win. The way this kid drives, my goodness. And he won the JEGS All-Stars last year at Dallas. This kid, 008 first round, 011 second round, 38 in the third round. So he beat John Calvert and Brent Calvert, father and son there. 015 against Jody Lang, 016 against Kyle Rizzoli, 017 there against Kevin Motter. So this kid is... he's tight on the lights there. Let me tell you, he's got a nice range going there. Good for him. 15, 16, and 17 in his last 3 rounds. So someone tell him to call me and give me some practice tree tips. Kevin Motter, though, great job there. 20 in the first round. 005 second round against Justin Jerome. He had a bye run. 25 against Leo Glassbrenner. And then he had another bye run. And I'll tell you what, he was pretty red in both the bye runs, and he bounced back both times. He didn't shy away. Sometimes when guys go red in a bye run, they come back next round and they're 60 because they're a little gun shy, but not Kevin Motter. He finished strong. So congrats on your runner-up finish. Congrats, Trey Vetter, on your first national event win, and first of many, I'm sure. All right, let's see. Where else can we go? Herbie Sullivan and Ron Moorhead took wins at Cecil County this weekend in Rob Keister's Mid-Atlantic Stock Superstock Association. I believe there were 32 cars there the first day and about 18 cars there the second day. Rough estimate, of course, but the second day, Sunday, was supposed to rain at 3 o'clock, and they got the race in just in time. So congratulations, Herbie Sullivan. He is driving a beautiful purplish, I think, Camaro. About an 87 Camaro we'll go with, and it was Jimmy DeFrank's car from the West Coast. It was a former world championship car that Jimmy DeFrank won in. So congratulations, Herbie Sullivan. Car's keeping up its winning ways. And Ronnie Moorhead, I think he's got a 1983 Camaro in stock eliminator, about H stock automatic, something like that. 305 powered. So congrats, Ron Moorhead. All right, guys. Let's talk Indy. Let's talk AHFS. Let's get some comments going. And sure. All right, we can go to PRI. Larry Robbins, let's see, from Smoky Western, Colorado. Walt has not decided on PRI yet, but I'll assume you'll talk me into it. I'll twist your arm. I'll see what I can do. Brian Zenzen, pick me up for PRI. You got it, buddy. What's up, Billy Ryder? How you doing, bud? Marty Morse, too. Have a great show, Bobby. Marty from Central Illinois. Thanks for tuning in, man. Mr. 413 whipped my butt. I was 006 red, and that's just not even it's just something that you just hope doesn't happen. That's all. Chris Kilby, scorching Maine. I don't know. How hot does it get in Maine? Need to get them boys a ladder book. Yeah, buddy. CCRA, race 1, Homer Carty over Blake Hickman, red light. And race 2, James Rawlings over Del Britt. Congratulations, Homer and James. Congratulations. Blake Hickman, he's a 80-something Camaro, stock eliminator, blue car. Tom Gent, what's going on, Tom? How you doing? Possibly see Tom at New Media this weekend, hopefully. Coastal Plains winners and runner-up. That one just flashed up again, right? Came up twice. Mike Sheehan. The IHRA experience this past week was excellent. Hope you talk about that a bit. We need more super stock support at the IHRA races. 5K to win. Let me know who won. I did not. I forgot about it. Good God. I hate to admit that right now because I want IHRA to succeed. So I want to give those winners some shout-outs. Let me know who they were. Brett Steven, good evening, Bobby. I'm just going to guess Steven Zorni was one of them, though, because he's really good, and he races in all those. Unless it was Mike Sheehan. Let me know. What's up, Brett? How you doing, buddy? Jared Jordan, C25 for compression ratios over 12-1. Sounds good to me. All right. Joe Hustis, Darlington Dragway has been sold. The article is on the Dragzine website. Yes, I do. I got that right here. I guess we can talk about it right now. Nasty Racing has completed the acquisition of Darlington Dragway in South Carolina. Darlington had previously been run by outside management under contract with a private equity firm, which exercised a contractual right to reclaim the lease of the track. All right. That's the kind of stuff that I don't fully understand. We were able to make a deal with said private equity firm to obtain the legendary Darlington Dragway facility, and we are very excited to have the opportunity to help grow and promote the great sport of drag racing while supporting the local community here in South Carolina. We will be doing a number of renovations and upgrades to that facility to bring racers and spectators the best possible racing and entertainment we can. All right. Love it. Love hearing it. Good luck, Darlington Dragway and nasty racing. Okay. What else? In case I forget to tell you, new media double this weekend, Division 1. So it's finally another points race for us in Division 1. For me, I should say, because I missed the last one. Double event Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday would be race 2. Thursday forecast looking a little iffy with the rain, unfortunately. So we'll see how they pivot there. But forecast looks pretty good and cool, I should say, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think we're in the 70s. So we go from 90s all week now. 92 tomorrow if you're going to run the test and tune, I believe. It's 92. And then 70s, high 70s. I think it's 69 one of those days. Friday, maybe. So bring a sweatshirt. Bring shorts for tomorrow. Bring a sweatshirt for the rest of the weekend. Good sleeping weather. I like it. Okay. So let's see. We got new media this weekend, and I want to mention this Hagerstown Big Money Race, combo race, October 11th and 12th. It's a big bucks race, Saturday, and then the Huntsbury Memorial Race is on Sunday. It's $225 entry fee. This is Mason-Dixon Dragway in Hagerstown, Maryland, by the way. $225 entry fee, and then a $25 gate fee, I believe. I'm not sure if it's $200 plus the 25 gate fee, or if it's $225 plus the 25. I'll try and find out more as it gets closer. At 64 cars, they're hoping to pay out $10,000 to the winner, $2,800 to the runner-up. If there's more than 64 cars, then they're going to pay down to the semis, and all the purses will go up. So it sounds like it's going to be top heavy. So $10,000 to the winner, $2,800 runner-up. I don't think anybody else is getting any money unless they get more than 64 cars. They also still have the awards from the rained-out Maple Grove Big Money Race that they were trying to put on back in May. So they have got sponsors, they've got bonus monies, and we will talk about that more as it gets closer. Okay. All right, let's talk about Indy. Don't forget, Gaff Tech Solutions is paying $5,000 to win AA stick shootout at Indy and at the Dutch Classic. However, you guys all heard the big announcement that the AHFS will be in effect at Indianapolis. And I saw that many racers are upset about that. So, what do you guys think about that? I know the guys that are really fast are upset. The racers that are kind of slow are a little relieved because it's going to make some of the other racers that are really fast, slow down a little bit, right? And give them a better shot. Anyways, I did some homework and I wanted to see, because the gist of, and if anybody doesn't understand how the AHFS works, 2 runs of 1 second under on a given combo creates a trigger, which means they will average out all of your runs for the year. They will not include any runs that were 65 under and slower. So any runs that are 651 under and faster will be counted. If that average of all those runs ends up being 85 under or faster, you will get a horsepower hit. So most racers try to run 99 under and slower just to keep from hitting the trigger. If you run 99 under all year and never go a second under, you're fine. Even though your average is 99 under, you're still fine because you never hit the trigger of a second under. If you go 1.3 seconds under your index, that is an automatic horsepower hit. And I believe that is a 5.25% horsepower hit. We will bring that sliding scale up. I think I have that right here, actually. So this is how it works. Let's talk about this for a second. And then we'll get to kind of like, I don't know, an idea I had to try and please everybody because that's what I live to do. Adjustments are rounded up to the nearest full horsepower, even if the fraction is below a half a horsepower. For example, 2.15 horsepower is rounded to 3. So if you set off a trigger and your average is above 85 under, faster than 85 under, what they will do is they won't take that average. What they'll do is they take the quickest run, I underlined in red. The quickest run by that engine family will be used on this sliding scale here, and they will adjust your horsepower accordingly. So if you happen to get an immediate hit at 130 under, they go straight to the 5.25% horsepower increase. So you would take your horsepower, multiply it by 1.0525, and that will be your new horsepower. So if you're rated at, well, the 350 255 was rated at 280. Do 280 times 1.0525, and you get to 294 point something, which then gets rounded up to 295. So that 350 255 is now rated at 295 horsepower. Okay. So now that you guys have all that right there, keep that in the back of your heads. And we'll talk about, hold on, let's put that back up. We'll talk about some AHFS. All right. So here you go. AHFS sucks at Indy. I understand both sides, but personally, I'd like to see AHFS turned off for Indy. I'd be okay as a compromise if the 130 trigger were left in place, but the runs didn't otherwise count in the average. Matthew Bernard's loaded and pointed in the direction of new media. Good luck to everyone. AHFS should not be on for class elimination. Just have it for the eliminator. That's Pete Ducko's opinion, of course. That was my opinion also, especially when we had this issue at the Dutch Classic last year. Dutch Classic is usually a national open where there is no AHFS, but there was a divisional combined with the national open. It was a weird situation. So what they did was they took the AHFS off for qualifying and class, and then they put it on for the eliminator, which I thought was a good idea. There's no points involved for class until class means something more than a Wally and pride, a lot of pride, blood, sweat, and tears. Then maybe the AHFS doesn't have to be on there. I don't know. It's a tough call. So that's option A, is just get rid of the AHFS for class and qualifying and just let it be on for the eliminator. If you get a heads up in the eliminator, which is worth points, money, championships, race win, all that good stuff. There should be a penalty for going 150 under to get that win, to get that round win, is what we're saying. Or we could try to make Indy a special race as far as AHFS is concerned, because it's just the most special race of the year for a lot of racers. So I was doing some brainstorming today, and I came up with a little solution that will probably need a little tweaking and opinions from all racers. And here it goes. We'll have what's called the Indy trigger. Okay. What's the Indy trigger, you ask? It is your current 2025 combo average plus 0.3. Okay. So your average this year so far is 85 under. That would be a 115 trigger. You do 85 under, 0.85 plus 0.3, and you get 1.15. All right. So that would be the Indy trigger for that combo. Okay. If the combo has not run at all this year, it will default to the regular 1 second under trigger and 1.3 automatic trigger, automatic horsepower hit. If your combo is only working on a 62 under average or a 43 under average or a 65 and slower or 7 and slower, we'll go 70 and slower, obviously, because if you add 0.3 to that, you're at 1 second. Anything 70 under and slower will just revert to the 1 second under trigger. That'll be your Indy trigger. It's going to be the standard default trigger and the 1.3 automatic trigger. So what I'm saying is take the current average of the combo this year and add 0.3 to it, and that'll get your trigger. So if your combo is working off of a 90 average right now, you would get a 120 trigger. And then to get the automatic trigger, since the automatic trigger is 0.3 faster than the standard trigger because it's a 1.3 under versus the 1 second standard trigger, separated by 0.3, we'll just add another 0.3 to get your automatic trigger for the combo. So if you are working off of an 85 under average right now for this year, 115 under is your trigger. 2 runs of 115 under at Indy will create an average trigger for you. And 145 under would be the automatic horsepower hit trigger. So that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm thinking. You can make that a sliding scale because I know there's going to be combos that have, are 717 under or, 824 under, something like that. That could be their average. And if you add 0.3 to that, you're getting down to the thousandth of a second. And since this is a whole hypothetical anyway, I guess we could do that. It would probably just cause a lot of work for NHRA. Or you could just make like a sliding scale. We'll say if it's 70 to 75 under, we get the 105 trigger. 75 1 to 80 under would get the 110 trigger. what 801 to 85 would get the 115 trigger, something like that. And if you're working off of a 1 second average right now, you're going to get hit at the end of the year anyway. You would get a 130 trigger and a 160 automatic trigger. So I was just thinking, trying to kind of make it like a sliding scale. We want people to show their performance. You want cars that are capable, people are putting in a lot of work and effort and stuff like that to go fast. You want them to be able to go fast, but you also want to keep, the car that can go 2 seconds under the index and you only see it maybe once a year. You want to kind of keep that person from just winning class for the rest of its racing career, and kind of just blowing out whoever it's going to race against. And I don't care how much blood, sweat, and tears you put into, a 69 Camaro. You're not going to race with, the 1986 Chevy C10 pickup truck. Not that they would ever be in the same class anyway. But if you were in a combo. All right, so I went and did some homework, and I wanted to see how many 130 under runs there were for the last couple years. All right, so we'll start with the most recent year, 2024 in stock on the qualifying sheet. Now, this is just qualifying and class eliminations round 1. This is not going to include C2 and beyond, and it's not going to include anything in the eliminator because I just went on Drag Insights and went on the qualifying sheets. So only 5 cars in stock qualified at 130 under and quicker last year. That was Jim Marshall, 230 under, 2307 under in T-Stock automatic with the 86 pickup truck. Paul Wong with the same combo, I believe, was 161 under. He's got a Q-Stock automatic 86 C10 pickup truck. So I don't know how it's Q or okay, Q because there's no S. That's why I thought the letters were too far apart. All right, so 230 under, 161 under. Robin Lawrence was 141 under in his Cobra Jet. Marty Booth was 138 under in his turbocharged 84 Mustang. And Paul Candies was 1302 under in his 2015 Challenger in factory stock. So 5 cars last year in stock. 11 cars the year before that. It was Paul Wong, 187 under in that truck. Robin Lawrence, 155 under in the Mustang. Marty Booth, 148 under in his Mustang. Rob Holmes was 144 under in his 74 Firebird K-Stock automatic. Glenn Briglio was 140 under in the I-Stock automatic 89 Camaro. Ron Siebernick, front-wheel drive Ford Tempo was 140 under. Vic Cagnazzi was 136 under in his 23 Copo. John Fisher was 135 under in a Chrysler Cordoba K-Stock automatic. Larry Hill was 135 under in a factory stock D Challenger. Jim Boudreau was 132 under in his 396 69 Camaro. And Jim Marshall was 131 under in his 78 Camaro. So 11 cars in 2023 qualified at 130 under. And then in 2022, there were only 4 cars. Brian Seberg in the U-Stock automatic Comet, 156 under. Jim Marshall was 145 under in the Camaro. Chris Butcher was 133 under in an 83 Camaro. And Glenn Briglio was 130 under in his 89 Camaro. So that's how many cars you're dealing with that qualified at 130 under that would be on the chopping block if they did repeat that 130 under in qualifying and or at any point during the race. So let's see what a couple comments are flying in and saying. They need to hit the person themselves, not the class. It takes one person to screw it up. I know, but then you're in comp eliminator with personal indexes, and I just don't think they want to do that in stock and super stock. Let's see Pro-Am results. Steve Zorni, wow, good guess, and Chris Lawson, super stock. Congratulations, Steve Zorni and Chris Lawson. That was the IHRA race. Let's see. Comments are so out of order now. Let's see. It will come down to what is more important to each individual, the prestigious Indy Class Wally or protecting your combo. Julie Jordan says 130 under should be automatic teardown. I agree. I mean, 130 under is a pretty stout run. I mean, you would like to verify that the car's legal, right? Especially before it gets a whole combo hit. Are the current combo averages posted anywhere? No, they are not. If you track your averages in Drag Insights, there is a nice calculator on there. But you have to enter manually what people are running. You have to enter all the 65 under runs manually for the combo. It will tell you the average. It will tell you what you need to do to fix the average. It'll tell you you need to make 3 runs of this range or 5 runs of this range or 4 runs of this range to fix the average, get it back to 849 under. Went to Taco Tuesday, a little late, Tommy Holy. All right. Nobody from NHRA is going to figure out personal trigger numbers for a possible 300 different combos on any given year after all the tech cards are in the week of Indy. I know. We could automate that, though, if they wanted us to. And we could use some AI to figure that out pretty quickly. But that will require a little bit of stepping into the 21st century here, Walt. So I don't know. But that's why we have these ideas for fun. Class round 2 and 3 have a lot more 130 under. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I said I don't have these, because I know some people, they probably hold back and C1 if they have, that race covered pretty good. But when you're in that final round there and you've got 2 super stock J automatic, Gen 3 Camaros going at it, you might see a 135 beat a 134 under. Who knows? J-Rod, what's going on, J-Rod? Speaking of 130 under combos. How you doing, buddy? Brian Moody, Dwayne Rice, IHRA Mountain Motor Pro Stock entered in Top Sportsman at Milan to test and won with a clutch and no box. I know your show is centered around stock and super stock, but certainly noteworthy. Hey, if he goes in there and wins with a clutch pedal and no delay box, that's pretty amazing. He gets a shout out. Thanks, Brian Moody. Penalizing entire combos without ascertaining the legitimacy of the offender is bogus and damn right un-American, says Pete Lanciers. And he's as American as they get. He's a Navy man. Using big words, man. I got to get a dictionary out. Julie Jordan, an interesting poll, whether the class Wally or protecting the combination is the choice. All right. Or Jared Jordan, sorry. Julie's son. Let us know what your vote is there, Jared. All right. So let's see. Let's go into Superstock. 2024 Superstock. There were only two cars that qualified at 130 under. That was Ernie Neal, the second, in his Superstock P Automatic 96 Caprice. 162 under the index, and Dan Jacobs in an 05 Cavalier. That's a GTK, I believe a 305 combo, 138 under. That was only 2 cars in 2024. Weather must have been bad last year. It was only 5 cars in stock and 2 cars in super stock. 2023, there were more. 6 cars in super stock, and it was Ernie Neal again, 177 under that time in the Caprice. Dan Jacobs again, 148 under, so both of them were a 10th faster. Lincoln Moorhead was 136 under in a J Automatic 89 Camaro. Johnny Fogel was 134 under in a GTI Automatic Cavalier. Travis Morgan, Superstock M Automatic Firebird, 77 Firebird. He was 134 under. And then Paul Candies was 130 under in a factory FGTB Mustang Cobra Jet. And then in 2022, again, 6 cars. Again, Ernie Neal, 169 under. Number 1 qualifier 3 years in a row. Dan Jacobs, number 2 qualifier, 3 years in a row, 142 under. Lincoln Moorhead, number 3 at 135 under. Number 3 qualifier, 2 years in a row there. Johnny Fogel, again, 132 under. Bob Cruzen, 132 under in a GTE Automatic Cobalt. I think could be a 428 Pontiac. And Jeff Dona was 132 under in a Superstock H Automatic 98 Firebird. So 2 cars in 24, 6 cars in 23, and 6 cars in 2022 in Superstock were 130 under on the qualifying sheet. Doesn't include C2 and beyond. When I say C2, for anybody that doesn't know, that means class eliminations round 2. Class eliminations round 1 counts for qualifying. Yeah, it was hot last year at Indy. That's what I figured. That's why those numbers were a little bit off. Cruzen is a 428. There you go, Bruce. I hope he writes you a thank you note every year he qualifies that high. Warren Monteith, how you doing, Warren? Building any model cars? Let us know. So let's see if you guys want to answer this poll here. Jared Joe, maybe we should. I wish I could create a poll right now while we're on the podcast and have everybody vote. But what's more important to you, the Wally or the combo? I would say young people would go for the combo and elders would go for the Wally. Let me know what you think. So it sounds like 5 combos need horsepower. Easy peasy, says Evil Motorsports. Well, I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reporting the news here. That's all. All right. There you have it. That's what I was thinking. It gives a little more breathing room, gives a little more a little more range for the faster cars to show what they got, but you still got to play a little chess. So if you're working off of that 85 average, your 115 trigger, you want to try and stay below that, or just do it one time if you have to, and stay away from the 145 automatic trigger. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be an absolute pain for NHRA to do that at this point in time by hand, but if they gave me the access to all the data and the tech cards, I could probably set that up in a matter of, I don't know, minutes. So I'd be happy to do it if they wanted me to. Drag Insights would be happy to do it. I mean, I would just send it over to Alicia. She is the computer programmer, not me. But I do know how to do spreadsheets and a little bit of AI here and there. Vic Gilmino, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you, bud. Hope to see you at New Media. Winning the Eliminator is the priority. That's what it is for me. That's where I'll take my chances with a horsepower hit. In class, maybe it depends. Right. I feel the same way, Jared. I think we're about the same age. But you guys, I mean, my beliefs on class are, and Mark says class Wally. He wants that class Wally, and I drive for him. So I know the orders, if I'm driving for Mark, what I got to do there. Save the combo, says Steven Johnson, right? So that's a Ford combo, Ford 427. So Vic just got out of the hospital. Oh my, I hope you're feeling all right, Vic. Winning class is all there is. Some people live for class, like Bruce Fulper does. So I come and go with it, I guess. I love class when I'm racing against a car that is like same car as mine. Like whenever I was running my 5.0 Mustang and I got paired up against another 5.0, same combo, same everything in class, I like thought it was cool, and I put my car in danger mode. I wanted to win that. But if I'm going up against a car that's underfactored by like 30 horsepower, I don't care. Just take the trophy. I'll maybe chill it a little bit, maybe take some oil out, but I'm just focused on hitting the tree and getting ready for Sunday or Saturday or whenever eliminations start. Tom Baker is all about that class Wally. Yep. So those are my thoughts on class. If I think I am within, 0.2 of somebody, yeah, I'll put it on absolute kill and try to do it. But I don't really have anything that I could kill the con. I can't go 130 under in any of my cars, without it falling out of a tree or really putting it on kill in a tailwind at Orlando or Cecil County in February. Steve Bruce, Class Wally, in my opinion, would be more prestigious. All right. Okay. Brian Anderson, what's going on, Brian? What would you rather do? Win class, eliminator, save the combo, or get the class Wally? Now that's like 5 options right there. Let us know. All right, let's go over some points here. Let's see who made a move. All right, nationally, top 5, Jeff Atkinson, 494. Jimmy Hidalgo Jr., 493. Joe Sorensen, 486. Jeff Strickland, 473. And Josh Decker, 470. Superstock, Jimmy Hidalgo Jr., 558. Leo Glassburner, 508. Jody Lang, 477. Kevin Helms, 465. And Brad Burton, 458. And then number 1 in each division, Johnny Gray in stock D1. Pete Diagnola, super stock D1. Jeff Strickland, stock D2. Monty Bogan, super stock D2. Division 3 is Josh Decker in stock. Fred Bartoli in super stock. Division 4 is Jimmy Hidalgo Jr. in stock and super stock. Division 5 is Ellis Booth in stock and Jason DeForest in super stock. Ellis Booth, man, and what the pickup truck or the Mustang? They share a couple Mustangs there, and he's got a pickup truck. Them guys know how to do it in the slow cars. Division 6, Brad Burton in stock and super stock. Brad's probably kicking himself about that round there in Seattle where he didn't see the broken car in the other lane. Division 7, Kyle Rizzoli in stock and Leo Glassburner in super stock. So Leo Glassburner moved to Tennessee, but he's still claiming Division 7 points, and he was out in Sonoma this past weekend. And for anybody that doesn't know, you get $15,000 to win a super stock national championship, and you get $5,000 to runner-up. If you win a stock national championship, you only get $10,000, and you still get $5,000 to runner-up. So you get shafted $5,000 there in stock. Division champions get $3,000 in super stock, $1,000 to runner up, and $500 to finish in third. And stock eliminator, you get $2,000 to win, $1,000 runner up, and $500 to finish third. That's division championships. So you get shafted by $1,000 there in stock eliminator. They need to fix that. Stock eliminator is not the entry level class that it was back in 1968. All right, your name has to start with a J to be in the top 5. Good observation. That's a good observation. Walt, Jeff, Jimmy, Joe, Jeff, and Josh. And Johnny Gray is in 6th, top 6th. There you go, Walt. It's not just about the 130 under. It's about being able to do it at Indy without thinking or worrying about it. Yes, I know. Well, now you got it. Yeah, because it's going to be in the back of your mind, man. If you got some room down there in a class runoff, you gotta let out of it. It doesn't make for entertaining racing. I'll definitely admit that. But we run class on like Thursday in front of nobody, so I guess it's not the biggest deal. But there are a lot of viewers on NHRA TV, and I must say, my Indy when I go there and do interviews and put up videos, it's the most views I get all year, second only to the Stick Shift Nationals. Build the car for class, but you race the car to win the race. You're right. Big weekend for Jegs All-Stars this weekend for us at Division 1, by the way. These are the final 2 races. This double counts for Jegs All-Stars points. There are soft combos and there are fast cars, and there is a difference. Absolutely. Are there combo races out in the Vegas area? I don't know. They had the muscle car race there in Vegas already. I don't know if they're going to have any more, but you will be able to watch stock and super stock in Vegas coming up pretty soon. I would say November 6th to the 9th, and the Vegas National event is October 30th to November 2nd. So 2 weekends in a row there at the end of October if you want to see stock and super stock. I would take the horsepower hit to win the Eliminator at Indy. Yeah, so would I. Since I probably couldn't go 130 if you shot my cars out of a cannon, I'm not going to worry about it. Go back to original horsepower ratings and race sticks and autos together. Heads up, no penalties. Oh, God. Yeah, but I think people would be running 1,000-foot all the time at that point then. Because some combos that are already have been hit for 20 years are still, fast. So that's a tough call there. Rob Keisters, good turnout last weekend at Cecil. Congrats to Herbie Sullivan and Ronnie Moorhead on the wins. Thank you, Rob. Yep, we gave them guys shout-outs a little while ago. And thanks for all you do, buddy. Sorry I couldn't be there this weekend. I had way too much stuff going on at home. But I will be at New Media next weekend. So come by, say hello if you're going to be at New Media. Hope to see you there. And I will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And hope to turn on a couple wind lights. And hope the weather holds out. No rain Thursday. I would like to get all qualifying and first round in on Thursday. All right, guys, let me make sure I didn't miss any announcements because I do that. Sometimes I bat out of order here and I miss a couple. But I don't think I did. Yeah, we talked about that. I talked about that. And I think we're good to go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. And, I also want to, along with my Indy sliding scale trigger factors here, all runs will be counted in the AHFS horsepower reduction database, okay? And they always should. I don't care if it's an open, Indy, or whatever. They should always be counted in the reduction database. What that means is they average out. If you submit for a reduction, they average out. And if your average is 54.9 or slower, you can get horsepower taken off of your combo. Well, if you go, a second under or 98 under, or you go fast, at an open or at Indy, that should be counted in the reduction database. That's what I'm saying there, because you don't want people going a second under at races that don't count and then going 5 under at races that do count and getting a horsepower reduction when it's kind of unwarranted. All right, there we go. Come over to Brainerd. I would love to, but it's right before Indy. This schedule this year has been pretty tough, man. Because all right, get this, man. So we've got New Media this weekend, right? We've got Brainerd August 14 to 17. You've got Bowling Green the weekend, after that? I think you've got Indy the weekend after that. You've got Virginia double divisional the weekend after that. And then we've got the Nationals at Maple Grove the weekend after that. I just don't know. How racers can hit all these events, okay, in a row like that. I certainly can't. Would love to, but I just can't do it. So we gotta straighten the scheduling out. And then we have Cecil County Divisional and Rockingham Divisional same weekend in October. Why? Ay. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody have a safe week, safe travels to New Media. Be sure to stop by, say hello, and good luck. Anybody that's racing there. See you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks to all the sponsors.